Hey everybody, John Franklin Reviewer, and I'm back doing a movie review. I know it's been actually a couple weeks or so. I've been working on about 2 weeks on my new Lego project and all of that. If you haven't got a chance to go see it, check it out. Finally got episode 4 out of Frank, James, and the Mummy, so I apologize that it took like 3 years to bring it out, but it's such a long story, I really don't want to get into it. But anyways, I'm here doing an anniversary movie. In my mind, one of the coolest titles out there, and it's a movie called Hobo with a Shotgun. This stars Rutger Hauer. He plays a hobo in this movie, and my God, how much, not only just does the title get you, but maybe the first 5-10 minutes of this movie is going to hook you, and you're going to love the hell out of this movie. This is definitely one of my favorite, just off-the-wall movies that I just love, that I think is perfect in almost every way. Well, anyways, I feel like I'm jumping the gun a little bit talking about that being perfect. But anyways, let's kind of get right into it. Let's start with the likes, honestly. Get us started off with the first 5-10 minutes of this movie here. Once we get into our first death, which is this guy who has a sewer lid around his neck, what these bad guys actually do is they'll chase you, they'll put you in the sewer, of course the lid will close and all that kind of stuff, and your legs are dangling underneath, and possibly your head's gonna pop off. Well, they actually put a rope around your head and knock off your fucking head here. So it is it's a very intense, like I said, the first 5-10 minutes was intense as it was, and I'm like, and it does not stop there. It just keeps climbing and climbing and climbing with the violence. I mean, let's go with the blood now. The blood, the action in this movie. Oh my God, is it just, it's like so ridiculous. You gotta laugh at it, but you just can't look away. And as I mentioned at the beginning here with this first guy who gets killed, it turns out it was his own brother and his 2 nephews that took this guy out here and, you know, popped off his head. And of course, the leader, the bad guy's name is the Drake. And I believe this was his very first movie, and this guy knew how to play a villain just right. I feel like, and I hate to kind of compare this a little too high, but I feel like this guy was up there like a William Dafoe or a Jack Nicholson to a point there, and I thought this guy did a damn good job here. There were a couple intense scenes in here. Of course, I feel like the movie probably could have been worse, but you know what? I think that they really do hit it on the head with a lot of intensity, especially when you get the hobo with the shotgun. Once he gets the shotgun, which isn't really too far into the film there, once he gets that shotgun, he is just out for buckets of blood. He's going after everybody. I mean, we got not just the bad guys, you know, we got like normal people that want him dead. We got pretty much every crooked cop is in this here that he wants, that he pretty much kills a few of them. But like I said, gory as hell. Rutger Hauer, as much as he's been in a lot of great movies, I consider this one my favorite of every movie he's been in. But he's damn good. Is a character named Abby. She is a real sweetheart. Her arch in this movie, from her just going from being just this hooker prostitute into being a badass bitch in Act 3 with Hobo, because he never had a name, he was just Hobo. But she was damn good. I liked her. Then we get to our villains. We get to the Drake, as I mentioned. I think he was really good. He was a great villain, great, like, just someone that you really hate. And he had his humor, don't get me wrong, but he definitely played this role up very well. Hammed it up, had fun with it, and I loved it. Same thing with his 2 sons, which was Slick and Ivan. And the thing was, I like both of them, honestly. With these 2 brothers, they work together so well, where Abby ends up helping out Hobo after he gets himself carved up in a police station. You know, he tries to talk to the chief of police. Chief of police, as I mentioned before, there's crooked cops in this movie. He's one of them. The brothers come in and they carve him like a Thanksgiving turkey or like a, you know, pumpkin and all that for Halloween. And the thing, and unfortunately, I really couldn't tell exactly what it said on there. But anyways, this hooker ends up helping him out. And he's like, you know what? And all this hobo wanted to do was just buy a lawnmower. That probably would have really screwed up people too. But then all of a sudden, when he wants to go in, he has the money. He actually, all of a sudden, this place is being robbed. And he actually ends up using the shotgun, actually pays for it after he uses it. Takes these three guys out that definitely deserved it, like everybody actually did. But just like I said, it's just one of the most bloodiest movies I've seen, at least for American cinema. And I love every second of this. This is just great. This is awesome. I mean, I love the dialogue. The dialogue is funny, directed very well, shot very well. Love the script. I think is really good on that there. And everybody else I ever mentioned, especially if they didn't have a speaking part, everybody did such a good job in their acting. I mean, I couldn't think of one bad person on here. I just love everything about it here. Now going back with the brothers here. I know I'm kind of bouncing around here. But one thing I really liked was towards the end where one of them actually gets their dick blown off, which was actually slick. And I love the hell out of that. But the thing was that Ivan, for whatever reason, was wearing ice skates. And he actually was kicking the hobo's ass. They ended up at Abby's apartment. And at one point, while the hobo gets a moment to, not get beat up by ice skates by Ivan, the hobo finds a toaster, I guess was still plugged in, and one of the ice skates goes right in and the guy gets electrocuted, but does not die, which was a surprise there. So another thing I really do like about this, especially when it came to these two brothers, who one of them did get his ass whooped earlier against the hobo, which was slick again, and of course later on gets his dick blown off, as I mentioned. They actually go into a school bus and they barbecue kids. Now, look, I admit that especially when it comes to horror movies, usually kids and animals most of the time do not die. That's a sacred thing, it seems like. But this is an action movie. And I'm sorry, you know what? Kids and animals do die in real life. Why not do it in a movie? Honestly, I hate to say this. Call me sadistic if you want. It worked, because all these kids were cheering for the hobo with the shotgun and all that, and Slick's like, I hate, the hobo, and fries him and all that. But the thing is that the school bus of death, I guess, comes around later, and before Slick's about to die, the school bus with these kids pretty much come back, grab his ass, put him in the school bus, and now he's burning, and now they could take his ass to hell. So there you go. Now, the way that Ivan dies, he pretty much just gets shot by his father. I mean, it was so-so. And now the final thing is the way that the film ends. The whole thing where the hobo had the sewer lid on him, like the guy at the very beginning, the brother, who ends up getting his head knocked off. The thing is that the Drake was finding, he actually said, I need to talk to the plague, which were like these two guys, and like, they almost looked like they were robots, honestly, but they were like in metal suits and all that. They catch the hobo in a hospital and all that, because he took Abby there, because her neck was cut by a saw and all that there by Slick. So the thing is that they get him, and he gets kidnapped, and Abby actually has to go. This is where her arch, changes the other way from being kind of that nice, I gotta sell my body person, to like, what, screw it, I gotta save this guy kind of thing here. The plagues were actually okay. I liked them for who they were and all that. Abby ends up killing one of them. And then the other one he says something to the hobo about she has to come with me, and the hobo's like, no, she isn't. And the guy kind of walked away, is all that really was. Hobo shoots Drake, but unfortunately with all the crooked cops there was no way in how Hobo was going to survive. And that's how it actually ends there, with him just laying there and the credits are going. Now, I only really have one, not even really call it a dislike, more of a gripe than anything, because I love the hell out of this movie here, is that there's a scene just before he gets his shotgun where there was this cameraman that was offering our hobo like $20, and what he had to do was he actually had to smack a beer bottle over his head. And then the guy's telling him, I'll give you another like $10 on top of this or something if you eat the glass. I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it, but it was just something about that particular scene where he does it. I hated it. He does get his revenge on this cameraman. Of course, kills him with the shotgun and all that. I guess I would have just thought something where maybe instead of he's about to eat, looks like he's about to eat the glass, but all of a sudden maybe he actually, the hobo stands up, pushes the camera out of the guy's face, and shoves the glass in his mouth, or puts the glass, in his eyes and kill him that way before the shotgun or something and just take the money kind of thing. Everybody else is killing each other. Why not? But honestly, Hobo with the shotgun, even with that little gripe there, I'm still going 4 out of 4 stars. This is a perfect movie. This is fun. I already gloated at the beginning of this here. I really loved everything about this here. Definitely recommend this. If you've seen this, give me a comment down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'll be definitely curious what you thought about it. But like I said, this is just such a fun, enjoyable movie. I definitely recommend it if you have not seen it. If you love a bloody good time, off-the-wall stuff that you don't believe would ever happen because that's just an entertainment value when it comes to Hollywood. And this was damn entertaining and damn good in every way here. So thank you guys so much for watching here. And as always, stay awesome.